Hello students, welcome to Legacy as Academy. In this particular video, we are going to discuss about an important event that has unfolded along the Israeli coast, where Greta Thunberg, a well-known climate activist from Sweden, has allegedly stated that Israeli military, or maybe we can say more precisely, have kidnapped her and her crew that was on a ship that was sailing toward the Gaza coast as such. So what is the entire issue and what is the entire what you can call a situation? Let us try to understand this in more detail. Now, a few days back, Greta Thunberg was moving on a charity vessel or was sailing on a charity vessel with 12 people on board, and this vessel was recently intercepted by Israeli Navy along the coast of Israel in the Mediterranean Sea, and then the people on board were brought to Israeli port of Ashdod, and there they have been given basically a kind of detention. They have been detained, and basically the government of Israel has stated that they would be sent back to their respective countries as such, because all these 12 people were coming from different countries, some of them from France, some of from the other European countries as such. So from there, the main reason why Greta Thunberg was sailing on the ship, or overall objective of the ship, was to bring a handful of humanitarian aid to Gaza. We'll try to look at the map also, where is Gaza Strip located and where the ship was going through and where it was basically captured by the or intercepted by the Israeli naval forces as such. So basically it wanted to create a sense of what you can call as awareness among the general public that the situation, a kind of situation that prevails in the Gaza Strip, and basically it was a kind of also an attempt by the ship to break the naval blockade that Israel had enforced along the Gaza coast since 2007, first time when Hamas took control of the Gaza Strip. Now, if you look at the journey of the ship, or basically it's a very small ship, so we can call it as a yacht. Now, the yacht was named as Madeleine, and this yacht was flagged by Britain. Flagged by Britain means basically it was registered in United Kingdom, and it was operated by a company called as FFC, that stands for Freedom Flotilla Coalition. Now, Freedom Flotilla Corporation is known for its pro-Palestinian stance, and it has taken many such measures to increase awareness among the general people of the world about the atrocities being committed by Israel as per this particular organization in the Hamas territory, in the Gaza Strip as such. So it had been carrying a very important, it was not carrying some huge amount of what you can call as aid material, food and milk, but rather it was carrying a symbolic amount of humanitarian aid. Again, why symbolic amount? Because it was not the main goal of the ship or this yacht was to bring a large amount of humanitarian aid to the people, but it was larger to generate awareness by taking such steps and measures as such. It also wanted to deliver and raise international awareness, as we discussed before, about the humanitarian crisis that the group alleged is being seen in the Gaza Strip due to continuous strike conducted by the Israeli defense forces here. But before the vessel could reach Gaza, where it was destined to, it was intercepted and diverted by Israeli forces to the Israeli city of Ashdod. Now, if you look at this particular map here, you can see the if talk about this particular yacht Madeleine, it began its journey on 1st of June near the Catania, which is a part of Italy. The Sicily is the region, well-known region you have. So from this particular port, it has began its journey. Then it traversed across the entire Mediterranean Sea, and then on the eastern side of Mediterranean, as you can look from the map here, you have Israel, and a very small strip you have. If you try to understand here from this map, this particular area, a very narrow strip along the western coast opening toward Mediterranean, that is what we call as, or what is referred as, Gaza Strip. And to the north of Gaza Strip, you have the Ashdod port. So originally, ship was planning to go the Gaza Strip, but it is around this area on 9th of June, it was intercepted by the Israeli defense forces, and then it was diverted to the Ashdod port further in the north. So this is how event have unfolded in past few days. Now, as far as the Freedom Flotilla Coalition is concerned, after the ship was intercepted and all the 12 people on board the yacht were taken to Ashdod port, they have stated and released a statement where they have said that we have just received confirmation that all 12 volunteers from the Madeleine are currently at Ashdod port. They are being processed and transferred in the custody of Israeli authorities. Also, they have alleged that Israeli authorities did not have any kind of what you can call as power to intercept this yacht. It was intercepted forcefully, and Israel has acted with total impunity, because what they are alleging is that Israel have captured and intercepted this yacht not in the Israeli territorial waters, not in the Israeli contiguous region, but it has intercepted and abducted basically the ship or yacht in the international waters. Such the ship was unlawfully boarded. Their aid ship was unlawfully boarded obviously by the Israeli Defense Forces, as they're claiming. At about 3:02 a.m. CET, its unarmed civilians crew abducted. Now, this is very big allegation. They are not saying that they have been taken prisoner or what you can call as detained, but rather the term they are using is abduction. Now, this is a common term being used both by Greta Thunberg as well as this Freedom Flotilla Corporation as such. And in its life-saving cargo, that is how they have represented the humanitarian aid the particular ship was carrying, including baby formula, food, and medical supplies confiscated. Now, very interestingly, few weeks back, we have discussed about another such instance where a high-ranking UN official has claimed that if humanitarian aid is not allowed in the Gaza, it will risk lives of thousands and thousands of children in the Gaza Strip, because they would not have enough food, baby formula to feed upon. And that also have drawn a large amount of controversy, and following which Israeli government then allowed UN led trucks to enter into the Gaza Strip through the land borders. But as far as the Mediterranean Sea area is concerned, naval blockade still is fully enforced as far as the Israeli Navy is concerned. Now, taking cognizance of this particular matter, Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz, as he is called as, he has accused Greta and the aid ship crew of ignoring Hamas atrocities by closing their eyes to the truth. Because as far as Israel is concerned, it still maintains its firm stance that it is the Hamas terrorists who have began attacking Israel. That basically we see the last most significant event happened on October 7th, 2023, when Hamas terrorists entered into the Israeli territory, killing several civilians and also have abducted several of them. So hundreds of people lost their life in that attack carried by Hamas. As a retaliatory measure, then Israel has begun its counter-offensive campaign, counter-militancy campaign, and it has neutralized many leaders of the Hamas. And today, if we try to understand to a large extent, the capacity of the Hamas has been decimated and destroyed in the Gaza Strip as such. Also, he has said that this particular ship, which basically Madeleine ship to talk about, or Madeleine yacht, if you can say, as per Israel, it was not largely to bring cargo. It was not focused on bringing humanitarian aid to the people in the Gaza. Rather, it was a kind of propaganda effort to harness support or to increase support, grow support in the favor of Hamas as such, which has been largely in the control of Gaza Strip since many years as such. Also, they have made a very what you can call as a sarcastic comment by saying that all the passengers of the selfie yacht, that is how Israel sees the ship, because selfie yacht basically means that ship does not have any significant geopolitical purpose, it does not have any significant humanitarian purpose. Rather, here you have the activists who are trying to increase voices or support in the favor of Hamas, and also they are also trying to ramp up their popularity, and that is why Israel has referred it as a selfie yacht, a mere propaganda campaign. Are safe and are unharmed, they are provided with sandwiches and water, the show is over. That is how Israeli Defense Force, Foreign Ministry, basically we talk about Ministry of External Affairs of Israel, Foreign Affairs of Israel, has reacted against this entire episode as such. Now, if we try to understand about the boat, the aid boat Madeleine had rice and baby formula as we discussed, and the 12 people that we have seen on board this particular yacht were coming from different countries such as Brazil, France, Germany, Netherlands, Spain, Sweden, and Turkey. So people from various nationalities were on board this yacht, and Israeli military ministry has stated that all of these people will be processed and will be deported back to their respective home countries. Now, apart from Greta Thunberg, who is a well-known climate change activist, the yacht also has on board Rima Hassan, who is a French member of European Parliament. As you know that in the European Parliament, all the European Union countries who are member of the European Union, they send their members to the parliament as such. So Rima Hassan is one such member. Then Omar Fayyad, who is a French journalist working for a well-known channel called as Al Jazeera as such. Now, the most significant and important or what you can call as well-known personality on board yacht Madeleine was Greta Thunberg. Greta Thunberg rose to popularity somewhere back in 2018-19 when she gave a fiery speech in the United Nations Climate Summit. And one excerpt of such a speech you can see from here, where she has said that we are in the beginning of a mass extinction and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you? So several such kind of excerpts we can see from the speeches, and that has basically brought her on the forefront of climate change activism as such. Not only that, she also from very early age or young age was by boycotting any such kind of policies which will worsen climate change, and she had protested many times in the front of Swedish parliament as well. So she first of all became popular in Sweden, and then she became popular internationally when she was invited at the UN Climate Summit as such. Now, apart from being participant of UN Climate Summit, she also has many times participated in the pro-Palestinian movement, we can say, where she has tried to highlight the plight of the people who are living in the Gaza Strip as such. Now, again, when the reaction was asked from Donald Trump, the President of the United States, he has categorically dismissed the claim that Thunberg has not been abducted. Israel has enough problems without kidnapping Greta Thunberg as such, so they will not increase their problem and a burden like that. Now we have discussed that the Israeli Navy has intercepted the ship and then diverted its direction toward the Ashdod port. So this was because Israel had ordered a naval blockade on the coastal enclave of Gaza since 2007 when Hamas took control of Gaza. Naval blockade means that no ship can enter the Gaza Strip region through the Mediterranean Sea without the prior approval and permission of Israeli defense forces as such. The reason why Israel has carried out this naval blockade, I believe, is because if it does not do so, Hamas will be able to use this route to gain access to weapons, arms, bombs, and different other things that can be used to attack Israeli territory as such. So that is why naval blockade has been justified by the Israel. It has remained in place during several conflicts, including the current one, and from current one we mean the October 7, 2023 Hamas attack in the Israeli territory that has led to loss of life of more than 1,000 people as such. Now, as far as the entire region is concerned, we have seen that the entire Middle East seems to be sitting on powder keg. Every time violence has erupted in such an extent that it seems that countries will not have any way out as such. So as far as the future ahead for the Israel-Palestine or Israel-Gaza Strip conflict is concerned, we have to understand that Israel and Hamas, both leaders, have discussed and has talked about a ceasefire in the early period or early months of this year, but that ceasefire after the first phase seems to have failed, because here again Israel wants Hamas to completely demilitarize itself. Hamas has to leave all the political offices, and basically it has to surrender its political power to some other organization in the Gaza Strip. Unless and until that is done, Israel do not want any kind of ceasefire and do not guarantee any kind of ceasefire as such. And this is the reason why talks seems to have failed after the first phase, when few prisoners and we can say few prisoners were exchanged by Israel in the exchange of the abducted people by the Hamas from the Israeli side. Then several Hamas leaders, top leaders, talk about Yahya Sinwar, for example, we can take, and his brother recently, they have been neutralized. So today Hamas seems to be leaderless, and the movement talk about, the entire group we talk about, has lost its strength to a great degree. And overall, we have discussed that as per the recent statement given by the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, he has clearly stated that as soon as demilitarization happens in Gaza, we can have a ceasefire immediately, even tomorrow as such. So he says that unless until demilitarization does not happen, we cannot have any question of ceasefire, and also Israel can again attack Gaza Strip and Gazan territory. And this also has caused a lot of furor from the Western countries, such as the leaders of France, Canada, United Kingdom have stated and even threatened heavy sanctions if Israel again attacks and try to invade Gaza territory as well. So that also has caused a kind of decline, or what you can call as downturn in relation between the Western countries and Israel as well. So this is how we can understand the entire situation currently unfolding in the Middle East, especially along the Mediterranean coast of Israel and Gaza Strip. And this particular development related to yacht Madeleine is one small, we can say, event of the larger geopolitical game that is being played here. So that's all about this particular video. If you like the video, please hit the like button, share it with your aspirants, as well as subscribe to our channel for more such content. Thank you.